This may seem like a normal Roblox profile at first, but the further you dig into it, the more disturbing things you find on it. The person behind this Roblox account has an extremely dark and disturbing story that I'm gonna investigate in this video. Make sure to drop a like, but let's get right into it. Dylan joined Roblox in 2017. Due to an illness, he spent most of his time in the hospital playing Roblox. He used Roblox to distract himself from how alone he was, but actually as he got older, he slowly started to see someone in the corner of the room. During those long, lonely years, he slowly started to become friends with an unseen person, a presence that he felt but he couldn't see. His friend was with him all the time, going through his surgeries, his pain, his isolation, and his fear, and Dylan became great friends with this unseen individual. At age 11, Dylan was released from the hospital and he tried to live a normal life, but his friend stayed with him, constantly watching over him and telling him what to do. And while at first he thought it was normal, just having an imaginary friend, it ended up being something worse than anyone ever thought. One day, his friend told him to do something extremely horrible to his parents. Dylan was very confused and he resisted this idea. He didn't want to do it, but eventually he gave in, believing that his friend knew it was the right thing to do. After Dylan did it, he was sent to a mental asylum where his friend continued to haunt him. Dylan's imaginary friend made him do horrible things, attacking people and trying to hurt everyone that was around him. Finally, over 10 years later, Dylan was released from the mental asylum, where he created his main Roblox account, old_thoughts. Under this account, he released a game, and inside this game, he showed what it was like to live a day in his shoes, showing what his mind was like, the pain that he went through, and what it was like being controlled by an imaginary friend. I just wanted to say that this game is very disturbing and it has a lot of very creepy things inside of it, so I hope you're aware of that before we explore this game. Now the game we're going to be looking at under his profile is called Thinking, and the description says just thinking. Now I personally believe that this is what it was like inside of his brain while he was in the asylum being controlled by the imaginary friend. While he was doing these horrible things, he maybe built this game, showing what it was like to live a day in his shoes. Now once you enter the game, you basically spawn on a little island in the middle of a white void. On this island, there are a bunch of different pillars and someone's body is laying on one of them. It also has a bed with a chair and a few books next to it, making me think that this is what it was like in his asylum room in his mind. There's also another dead body on one of the pillars leading towards a staircase that takes you up to this building up here. My main guess is that these two individuals on this first island are his parents and the people he did the horrible things to. Now as we go further onto this building up in the sky, we see a couple things. We see a dead body that is all white on the ground, crushed by a pillar, with a bunch of different sticks, figures, things like that sticking out, connecting to an individual that is all black. Under the pillar is a sign that says, "I'm back." I believe that this relates to the control that this imaginary friend had and has over Dylan. This is a good representation of what it felt like to him on the inside. Now I decided to go back to the first island we started at, and I looked behind one of the pillars where it said, "Say my name." Would you see something? Alright, let me see over here. Oh, wait, okay. So his username, right? Say my name. Okay, so his username is Old Thoughts, right? Now, if you say his name, nothing exactly happens, and so we were basically stuck at this point. So me and my friend spent a good amount of time looking around the map to figure out where to go to next. And little did we know, this game's a lot more expansive and complex than we ever would have expected. Now, as we explored, I decided to look under the island, and under the island was an upside down individual in all white. Oh, yo, wait, look under the map. Do you see that there's like an upside down guy? Whatever this meant, I had no clue, and little did I realize I'd stumble upon the next path to go further in this mystery. We suddenly stumbled upon this invisible path, and not knowing where it went to, we decided to follow it. There's an invisible path. Oh wait, don't fall. Yeah, you can't, like if you can't clip your camera through it. Wait, I see something. Okay. Can we go straight forward? Do you want to go first? Go on. Alright. Yo, this is actually like insanely scary. I fell. Once you reach the top, there's an island with a single chair and a man holding on, about to fall off of it. Above him, it says this. One person hanging on it says, "I can't stop thinking." If you walk over and touch that individual, you spawn into this extremely complicated, confusing area. Then as we continue to explore, it sent us to this new town with these buildings on the side and a sign that said welcome. Sadly, our search in the town led to nothing, so we went back to the area where we just were. Then, following this character pointing a certain direction, you can actually clip through the wall and get to the next area. Oh my gosh, yo, come over here. And little did we know, this was about to get more and more disturbing. As you can see, when I walked up to the grave, it just brought us into this new area. It looks like maybe an apartment building complex, or maybe the asylum that he used to live in. Yo, I just walked through something into something else. There's many different doors, and we were very confused about where to go to next, so we decided to just start looking around. I'm in another room. This looks like a hotel. As we moved further, going through the doors and the areas, we found things that were more and more scary. This one says, "I can't stop thinking," and he's holding a glass of nothing. I think he's a drinker. Nothing in this room, it looks like. This one's... What? What does this mean? Alright, so there's a guy up on the wall. Some people, maybe his imaginary friend or something. This guy has something sticking out of him. There's a hat on a cross. There's just his character. I guess I'm in a new game. One door took us into a weird church, and something to do with this might be related to maybe his birth or maybe the funeral of his parents. But overall, there wasn't really anything in this church, and we went back to the main area. We decided to go back before the grave and go through the wall on the side where one of the characters was pointing. We clipped through the bush, going into a room with wood on the walls and a bunch of pictures of Dylan himself. Now we decided to leave that room because what we saw with that crow just kind of creeped me out, and we decided to go to a different location. So as I was looking around one of the graves, we suddenly got teleported into this house. Yo, I was just tabbed out looking at his story, but I guess we're in a friend's house now. Everything on the walls was blocked up entirely, and there was really no sign that anyone even lived here anymore. But outside of the house, there was a man waving, looking through the window. Now, we really couldn't find anything in this house, so again, we went back to that hallway, which seemed to be in the asylum. In that hallway, there was a door on the floor that looked unlike any of the other ones, and we decided to jump through it. And we fall down into a pathway of sorts. Alright, let's go through. Inside of it, there was a hallway leading to a large open room with a man on the other side of the wall. Behind him was one of the craziest things I've ever seen in a Roblox game. After exploring the staircase room further, I touched one of the NPCs and it teleported me into a room. Clearly, seems like he's fighting with his demons or something. Oh, on a piece of paper it said the time 2:04, and exploring further brought me to his house. Shoot, yo, come up to him. Wait, this is like a whole house. This is probably his house. The clock says 2:04. Pills in the cabinet. This looks like my Bloxburg house. Some dishes fallen over. Looks like, what is this here? Just someone's room. A bedroom. Maybe his bedroom? Got him on the picture there. A tipped over glass, and a TV with static on it. Oh, okay. Now it looks like this is probably his neighborhood, maybe where he's raised. That's maybe him or his imaginary friend waving at us. Wasn't there the first time. You see something? There's something on the roof up there. A flower, a dead body, 3 dead people. I'm gonna be honest, this is really gruesome. Maybe 2:04 is the time that he did the things to his parents, but there's also something down there that says workspace. Let me see if I can get my camera down there. Looks like there's something under the map that we can get to. Maybe it's in here. Okay, the path takes us to nothing here. I can't stop thinking. It always says that. Honestly, I don't know entirely what we should do. I feel like we should try to find out how to get to this workspace thing. Find out what all right, well, here we are. Looks like we have 4 people, 3 people black and 1 person in white. All of them are smiling, and I don't know what this means, and this might be the end of our journey here. Basically, overall, this is a very dark story, and I think it gives us hints into his backstory and understand who he is and why he did what he did, but it still leaves us with more questions than we've gotten answers. Overall, you guys can tell there's probably a lot more to this game than what we explored in this video. Clearly, there's some very disturbing and dark things that occurred in this man's life. If you guys have any idea what any of this could mean, please do comment down below, and if you guys happen to find anything more inside of this guy's game, do tell me. I think this might have been the scariest thing I've investigated on Roblox as of yet.